It's Bread and Jam Sundays at Dazzle.
I went to her house, but the sea was out.
We all need some help, and we all need some love.
Early in the morning, and I couldn't get right.
The sound on stages is nostalgic now. A sound the pandemic put in the past.
And there were these whispers of this coronavirus that were getting closer and closer.
Long, long time ago.
Never saw anything like this coming.
Messages on marquees say "see you soon," not knowing when soon will come.
We still didn't fully know what we were contending with at that point.
It's estimated more than 31,000 Colorado jobs were lost in the performing arts industries between April and July. The state likely lost more than $800 million in sales revenue for that same time.
Yeah, devastating. Everything just came to a screeching halt.
Public health measures to stop the spread of COVID-19 closed classic venues. Others are still hanging on.
If you haven't heard Lionel Young, this gentleman right here,
A full-time musician
musicians have been without work now for 10 months.
finds new purpose presenting the bands at Dazzle who perform for an empty room, while the audience watches a live stream at home. Matthew Ruff pays the musicians with donations and continues to navigate the complicated and sometimes strange new rules.
When we first reopened in June, horn players were not allowed. Whoever made the regulations assumed that there was spittle or whatever coming through a horn when somebody plays it, even though that's not actually the case.
All sounds are welcome now. Not every stage is making them. Silence was once a reprieve at the Boulder Theater.
Not during normal times, because it's always noisy, so a little quiet time is okay, but it's been quiet for quite some time.
Cheryl Ligori
Yeah.
still has the tables and chairs set for a small crowd to watch a cabaret. But even that went away in November when COVID-19 cases surged again.
I think it's been a real hole in people's hearts, the people that really connect with the live music experience.
She hopes to do more than survive in silence. And she's not alone.
He was the independent promoter in the Denver area when I moved here in the early 90s.
There's been a lot of bad bands that have played this bar, there's no doubt about that.
Lion's Lair on Colfax Avenue hasn't had a band since March.
A lot of people start playing here, I know. I remember seeing Nathaniel Rateliff playing here with his old band, Born in the Flood.
But in order for those musicians to get noticed, stages like Doug Kaufman's have to stick around.
You know, we're allowed to have 25 people in here, which doesn't make a very big difference, but
This place needs people packed in to make money again. So this staple on Colfax will stay closed. As another, a few miles down the road, prepares to open.
Our idea of normal is not coming back anytime soon.
Without knowing when normal could return, executive producer Helen Murray
I want to tell as many stories as possible.
reinvented her season of shows at the Aurora Fox Theater.
I made a commitment to myself. I was like, we are going to figure out a way to reopen. I know I will have to be masked to do it. And so I bought this before I even had written the first page of our reopening plan.
She wore it when they opened a socially distanced show in September. She'll wear it again for the opening night of another show, strategically cast with a husband and wife as sweethearts.
It's a wonderful privilege.
I find my joy on stage, and I really, really hope that that I can bring some of that back to audiences that haven't been able to see live theater in months and months and months.
Even through all of those iterations of this pandemic, I think that the eye has still been on the importance of art.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
As people start to see this art in person once again, it might not look the same.
Live music.
But that sound never changed.
But live music.
With photojournalist
Live music, where the healing begins.
Katie Eastman, 9 News.
Thank you and good night.
All right, that's it, huh?